All right, y'all. Let's get moving. Let's get it popping. It is time to move forward. We got Mercury station direct moving forward again. We got the sun in Aries. The sun is exalted in Aries. The sun is very powerful. The sovereign is very powerful in this position. It is time to move forward. I hope you have found a target to shoot at. Now is time to start shooting. You're probably not going to hit it every time. You're probably not going to hit it even most of the time. But if you are going to succeed, then you need to fail faster anyway. So let's get to it. Let's start doing the damn thing. There are plenty of obstacles in the way, but what are you going to do? Just let them be in the way. You got to do something. And my guess is that it's going to get a little itchy if you don't. So let's get to it. You know what I mean? What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Zamboni. I'm a musician and astrologer, and it is time to talk about the astrology of the week ahead. As always, if you want to hear me talk some more, you can go to zamboniphone.com. If you want to get a reading, you can go there. There is a course on how to do astrology. It's called Astrology from the Ground Up. If you've never done astrology before, it's a great entry point. Zamboniphone.com. You know what it is. Check it out. Oh, also listen to the music. Check it out. There's a dope ass hip hop album and some other things. So this week we got Mercury moving forward again, right? Mercury has been wildly uncomfortable for a while. Mercury is the planet of communication and transportation and, intelligibility and stuff like that. Mercury is still in Pisces, still conjunct the North Node, still wildly uncomfortable as far as I'm concerned, but at least moving forward again, so we can think through all of the things that were going wrong during Mercury retrograde for the last, 3 weeks or something like this, and then start to try to get something done, try to solve those problems in some kind of way. It is less haywire at this point and a little more like, okay, can we put it back together? I feel like the real focus, though, so we've got this Mercury in Pisces. Mars is also there in Pisces. And so we've got this Mercury-Mars dynamic. Sometimes you think about Mercury-Mars as being like angry words or aggressive communications or something like that. At least we notice that they are together and they are making a trine to the ruler of Pisces, who is Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Jupiter loves being in Cancer. Jupiter is very good at doing the Jupiter things, which include beneficence and joy and luck and wisdom and seeing the big picture and stuff like that. And also confirmation, affirmation. Jupiter is trying to say yes to stuff. Jupiter is very good at doing those things in Cancer, and also Jupiter loves a trine. A trine is an aspect which is friendly and supportive and also associated with Jupiter. And so to see a trine from Mercury and Mars, who are kind of aggressive words and all this, making a trine to Jupiter, which is going to be our affirmation energy, looks like this is a good time to make an aggressive claim about something. If you're going to threaten somebody, probably a good time to do it now. You know what I mean? And I feel like the threat thing is kind of probably going to be a big deal here, because we also notice that Mars is there in Pisces, right, making this trine. Mars is ruling Aries, and like everybody is in Aries. We got Venus in Aries right now. We got Saturn in Aries. We got the Sun in Aries. We got Chiron in Aries. It's a lot. And then pretty soon Mars is going to be there in Aries. Aries is the focal point. Aries is what's happening right now. So if you were to get a reading at zambonifunk.com, there's a great 10-minute option. It's $36, which is a deal as far as I'm concerned. And it's a great way for me to look at your chart and sort of contextualize what's going on here. But if you don't want to do that, you don't want to pay me to do that, here's what you should do. So look at Aries in your chart, figure out what house that is, figure out what topics of life are associated with that house. That's going to be the focal point of what's going on here. And we can see that Aries is turned up in a really big way. Now, Saturn is there in Aries, right? So Saturn is going to be maybe around executive function, especially management of something. Saturn often represents an obstacle. You can think about obstacles in this way, like think about bureaucracy. Like there's plenty of hurdles before you can get anything done. You have to file all the paperwork, and you got to make sure that it's okay with the legal stuff has to be good, and all. There's all these, and then there's all the administration of the stuff, and you got to make sure that everybody's getting these are the kind of obstacles toward executive function that we can see with Saturn and Aries, right? There's a bunch of bullshit that needs to be done here. Now, what we can also notice is that the sun is present here in Aries as well. And so there's something here about, and so the sun is exalted in Aries the same way that Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. The sun is exalted in Aries. So the sun does the sun things really well. The sun's job is to shine. The sun's job is to be the center of the focus. It's to be the one that's like, all right, I have arrived. It's time to do it. It's springtime. When the sun moves into Aries, that's what spring is. And so there's this sense of like the new growth has showed up, and it's like, yes, I am here. And so we can start the party like this. That's how the sun in Aries feels. And so what we can see here is also not only that the sun is in Aries, super powerful, and having to navigate this Saturn, but also going to make this conjunction to Saturn. That's called a cazimi. That's when a planet goes into the heart of the sun. So what happens there, usually, I typically frame that as like a special message from the king in some kind of way. The sun is the king, and when you get into the heart of the sun, then you get an audience with the king, right? And so the bureaucracy, the challenge to executive function, Saturn in Aries, is in the heart of the sun. And so there's going to be something here where the sun, and also the sun is the brightest object in the whole world, right? And so when there's a planet that is really close to the sun, you can't see it in the sky. And so what happens there is the sun subsumes all of the energy of that placement or whatever that planet is doing. And so all of that bureaucracy and stuff like that is subsumed by the brightness of the sun, by the this is part of what I was thinking about with like find a target to shoot at, you know what I mean? The sun's job is to look at things, right? It's a bright object associated with vision and stuff like this. So the sun has its eye on a target, and the sun kind of doesn't care about all of these bureaucratic obstacles. I know that I'm supposed to fill out the application or whatever, but there it is right there. I'm going right there. It's a little bit like when you are driving and there's a one-way street and you're so mad because you can see your destination, but your one way is going the other way. And so you have to, the sun is like, I'm the king. I don't have to follow these rules. And so it's just going to go the wrong way on a one way. Now, the thing about that is that Aries is very short-sighted. And so so you end up going on the wrong way on the one way. And then you end up being like, okay, well, shit, now I'm in head-on collision territory or something like that. Like you run into problems, right? But the sun kind of doesn't give a shit about that. And that's part of what I'm saying about fail faster. Anyway, so what I mentioned before is that if you were to go to my website, zambonifunk.com, and get a reading, then what you would want to do is you would want to look at the target that Aries is shooting toward. Usually that's going to be associated with whatever house topic that is. And we're going to notice that you're going to need to make a push in that direction. This is a very good time to say yes to trying new shit, trying things, especially trying things that are a little bit outside the box or something like that. We can notice that Mars, who rules Aries, who is in Pisces, getting this excellent trine from Jupiter, saying yes to the Mars things. So that's going to be yes to whatever Mars is trying to do in Pisces. Check out the house that Pisces is in your chart, and so associate those house topics alongside the house topics associated with whatever house you have Aries in. Those are going to be your Mars things that Mars is trying to accomplish. Mars is trying to do stuff in this space. So let's say that you have Aries in the 10th house, for example, right? So the 10th house is going to be the area of the chart that's associated with career and stuff like that, outside things. And so if you're out here trying to do stuff in the world, trying to get your career popping or something like that, this is a good time to start making moves on that. Now you're going to run into these obstacles. You're going to run into the bureaucracy of the applications and all that sort of stuff, and you're going to be annoyed by all that, and maybe you're going to feel like flouting the rules and this kind of thing. That's one of the things that I keep saying about Saturn and Aries, is that it is pirate season out here. There's one real rule, and that is, can you do the thing or can you not do the thing, right? So it's against the rules to drive the wrong way on the one way, but you could make that turn and then actually go just get to your destination real quick, right? Because that doesn't violate the laws of physics to do that. You can do that thing, right? So this week is a really good time to notice, what can I do can I just go out here and do this damn thing and figure out what the real boundaries are? Not the legal boundaries, but the actual lived experience boundaries. Like, if you were to actually go do the thing, then you can model the world so that you can do a better job in your